ranking as we do amongst uncertain. However, we know that even in this uncertainty, life must go on. It is with this in mind that my government has embarked on this nation's road to economic recovery with a sense of fortitude and commitment, taking stock, maintaining a healthy society in the era of COVID-19. Government responded to the COVID pandemic with alacrity, decisiveness, and sensitivity. The management of the assault by COVID-19 has been one of the clear successes of my government. With our Barbadian healthcare system, the use of local expertise, and the private sector constructing rabbit-built facilities, close monitoring, strict protocols, management of all cases, rigorous contact tracing, and the cooperation and discipline of the public, Barbados has so far averted community spread. While our country has done well, it is critical that we do not let our guard down, because as the old people caution, what ain't catch you, ain't pass you. My government has fought and is fighting against COVID's potentially deadly and debilitating health, social, and economic impacts. COVID-19 will not defeat Barbados. My Minister of Health and Wellness put it best when he framed the fight in military terms. He said, "There will be no retreat and no surrender by the government." Reporting progress, our urgent and mission-critical agenda. My government committed to addressing a list of 17 vexing issues within the first 6 months of coming to office. These included rebuilding our foreign reserves, dealing with debt, bringing tax relief, addressing threats to the financial service sector, helping people to live, resuming the payments of arrears and refunds, protecting people's health, fixing the Bridgetown and South Coast sewerage systems, getting rid of garbage off the streets, putting buses back on the roads, repairing our roads, alleviating water woes, ensuring citizens' safety and well-being, empowering our young people, stamping out corruption, a new deal for the workers of the sugar industry, and preparing for a natural disaster. Because of their complexity or technical nature, some of the items on the list took longer than my government had initially anticipated. For instance, the fight for citizens' safety and security is ongoing. Measures to deal with water woes, particularly in St. Joseph and St. John, are in train, and integrity legislation will be brought back into Parliament. On a significant portion of the policy commitments for national transformation, as made in my government's manifesto of 2018, and on the aspects identified in my government's mission-critical agenda, we have done what we said we would do in large measure. The evidence is there for all to see. In treating to the COVID-19 pandemic, fulfilling our mission-critical agenda, plowing the country's way forward, communicating with citizens frequently and in a forthright manner, through both traditional means as well as social media platforms, meeting citizens' needs in the most difficult and uncertain times facing the people of our nation and the people of our planet. The approach of my government has been to demonstrate a sense of caring. My government has sought to be responsive to the needs of the people and to build new bonds of trust between the government and the governed. Our foundation stones have shifted. Global upheaval from war or disease, pandemics, is not new. The world has always gone through turmoil. What is different now is the threat to the world's economy and society that has never before more connected through through the globalization of economies, trade, travel, technology, and supply chains. Of equal importance at this time is the immediacy with which technology now connects societies across the entire world. It was the power of technology that allowed us in Barbados to witness the decimation wreaked by COVID-19 and the fear and anxiety it caused as it felled the healthcare systems, citizens, and economies of some of the world's largest and most powerful countries. With the occurrence of these events, there was a shifting of the foundation stones of certainty, social expansion, economic growth, and billions being lifted out of poverty with which we have lived since the last devastating pandemic of the Spanish flu 100 years ago. In Barbados, that uncertainty assumed a different reality with the passing of two Barbadians. First, the iconic cricketer Sir Everton Weekes, whose skill on the field, like that of Walcott, Worrell, and Sobers, helped a nation and a region to glimpse its potential post-colonialism, to understand that size was not a constraint to high achievement, to taste success and know that we are equal to the best in the world, that as students and the colonized, we could outstrip our colonial masters, and that greatness was within us, if we were prepared to discipline ourselves and work towards it. Within days of Sir Everton's loss, the country's longest-serving Prime Minister, Professor the Right Honourable Owen Arthur, also died. Prime Minister Arthur's policies shaped our economic fortunes and landscape for a vibrant economy from which all benefited. The middle class grew, women found new opportunities, entrepreneurship thrived, and propelled many working and middle class people upwards. This country pioneered the concept of the green economy within small island development states, and our national star shone so brightly that it could be seen across the globe. With the passing of Sir Everton and former Prime Minister Arthur, the mantle of leadership falls fully to the post-independence generations of Barbadians. It is those generations who must now define how our country and citizens will dominate the world stage, create a new vision, and build Barbados' future. Our national foundation stones have shifted. National and international events demonstrate that we have entered a new era. The old things have passed away. Securing the governance of Barbados and Barbadians, a fresh guard, and a new vision restructuring and reimagining. The peril and uncertainty of the times compel us to reinforce our foundation. Equally, we are challenged to shore up our traditional structures and find stronger, more resilient, more sustainable architecture on which we can build a modern and enduring structure for current and future generations. Government and governance. Barbados has developed governance structures and institutions that mark us as what has been described as the best governed black society in the world. Since independence, we Barbadians have sought constantly to improve our systems of law and governance so as to ensure they best reflect our characteristics and values as a nation. Barbados' first Prime Minister, the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow, cautioned against loitering on colonial premises. That warning is as relevant today as it was in 1966. Having attained independence over half a century ago, our country can be in no doubt about its capacity for self-governance. The time has come to fully leave our colonial past behind. Barbadians want a Barbadian head of state. This is the ultimate statement of confidence in who we are and what we are capable of achieving. Hence, Barbados will take the next logical step towards full sovereignty and become a republic by the time we celebrate our 55th anniversary of independence. Extending the list of national heroes. In 1998, by Act of Parliament, Barbados recognized 10 worthy sons and a daughter as national heroes for having given outstanding service to Barbados, contributed to the improvement of economic and social conditions in Barbados, and demonstrated visionary and pioneering leadership, extraordinary achievement, and maintainment of Barbados excellence.
I feel like there should be a rule in America. They should say, you can hate immigrants all you want, but if you do, you don't get to eat their food. I feel like there should be a rule in America. They should say, you can hate immigrants all you want, but if you do, you don't get to eat their food.
That's a fair exchange for me. You hate immigrants? No immigrant food.
And when I say no immigrant food, I mean no immigrant food, nothing. No Mexican food, no Caribbean food, no Dominican food, no Asian food, nothing. Only potatoes. And I'm not even saying like flavored potatoes, I'm saying plain potatoes. No spice, no spice, no spice. There's no immigrants, no spice. Don't ever forget that. But figuratively and literally, no spice. And I know some people would take that. I know. I know there's some people right now who'd be like, well, you know what, Trevor, take your immigrants, take your spice, and get the hell out of here. Oh, you say that now. Because you've never lived a life without spice. Don't ever forget. A life without spice was so hard, that it made white people sail around the world to find it.
This wasn't regular sailing. This wasn't like a Disney cruise. These people sailed at a time when they believed if you went that way, you would fall off the edge of the earth and die. And still, some man was eating some white lady's cooking, and he was like, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm sailing that way. But what if you die? At least it's exciting.
No immigrants, no spice.
And definitely no tolerance.
While everyone is facing the battle against coronavirus, black people in America are still facing the battle against racism and coronavirus. And the reason I say it's a domino is because think about how many black Americans just have read and seen the news of how black people are disproportionately affected by coronavirus. And not because of something inherently inside black people, but rather because of the lives black people have lived in America for so long. You know, coronavirus exposed all of it.
A lot of Americans were shocked by that rhetoric, but if you expanded your view, you realized that the rise of nationalism is taking place all over the world. In Austria, in Australia, in England, that was what Brexit was all about. Right? They made it seem like it was about the economy, but it wasn't. The truth was, it was fundamentally people who wanted their country back. It never went anywhere, but they still wanted it back. When you think about it, when people term immigration, it just depends on your timeline, right? You're an immigrant. When do you measure from? Everyone is an immigrant from somewhere. Whenever I see people have those conversations in America, about these damn immigrants, they're coming over here, these damn immigrants, get out of here, you immigrants. I always wonder what Native Americans must be thinking. This is not where they came from, this is not their land. And they're like, oh, tell me more. They're gonna go back because this is not their home. Oh, really? Everyone is an immigrant. Everyone is. I saw people on the news talking to the BBC. That's why I'm voting for Brexit. That's why I'm voting for Brexit, right? Because this bloody country is going to the dogs, right? This bloody country, and I want Britain back. That's why we're voting for Brexit, because we want Britain back. From who?
Britain is like 95% white. Who do you want it back from?
No immigrants.
You're saying the weirdest things, the craziest things.
These bloody immigrants, they come over here, they're up to no good, right? I hate these bloody immigrants, they need to go back to where they came from. But why do you hate them so much? I'll tell you why I hate them. Tell you why, right? Because they're not even trying to be British, that's why. They don't even try to be British, right? They come here, they bring their own bloody culture, right? They bring their own food, speak their own bloody languages, try to take over the whole bloody place. It sounds British to me.
Africa's got its own issues. Africa's got many issues. I mean, Africa's in a place where in so many countries, the effects of colonization have left many governments crippled.
If there's one country, if there's one nation in the world that has no right to complain about immigration, it's Great Britain.
If there's one nation in particular, you do understand, they created the problem that they're now dealing with.
They went out and colonized the world. At one point, half of the globe was controlled by the British Empire. Do you understand how insane that is? They went around colonizing from pillar to post. People didn't care about them. No one was trying to find the British. The British were the ones traveling the world, telling everyone of their existence, knocking on doors. Hey, we're the British, follow us. Basically ancient Twitter, that's what that was.
Apartheid was basically a system of laws in South Africa. A system of laws that were designed to oppress people of color and all people of color. Apartheid made it illegal for black and white people to interact with one another. My parents, at the time when they were a couple, it was against the law. Me being born was against the law. My dad put me on my birth certificate. My parents couldn't have me on you had to have a registry of all the people that lived in your house at the time. My grandmother couldn't have that in her house. But I think most importantly, the thing a lot of people don't realize is apartheid essentially was perfect racism. I'm still learning about how perfect the system was in terms of they went around the world. The government actually set up a commission to go around the world and study racism. And America was one of the places they came.
And I'm not saying the British are bad people, by the way. I understand that colonization was something that was popular at one time. Many European countries participated in it. But the British were the best. They were the best. It's not because they were bad. I think I'd blame it on the weather. That's what I think happened. I think they have bad weather, and bad weather makes you a bad person. Yeah, because if you think about it, there was no one from a tropical climate who was trying to take over the world. You don't ever hear stories of Caribbean conquerors. There's no stories of Troy the Terrible from Trinidad.
You don't hear these stories. There's no need for that. When the weather's horrible, you want to go somewhere else and take it from somebody. If you're living in a beautiful paradise, you have no need to leave.
The British colonized with class. They went all over the globe. And colonization, we read about it now, and it seems normal, because it's in the history book. They colonize. When you think about colonization, it is the strangest thing you can think about. Because conquering is one thing. You go to another country, you take what's theirs. You want more. You take the land, you take the resources, you kill the people. That I understand. But colonization, I don't condone, I understand. But colonization is strange because you go there and you don't just take over, you then force the people to become you.
That is such a strange concept.
When you think about where the British did it, I mean, they did it in Africa. They did it in Asia.
They just pitched up on the shores of Africa. We have discovered this land. People came out like, hey, oh, look at that. We have discovered people. Oh, we were here first. What are you doing here? We're here for a comedy show. Come on in. Bang, 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 bang. That wasn't funny.
They took over. Like, I always think about those things.
The guy's pitching up in the country. No one speaks the language. That's supposed to be the most awkward thing ever. The guy's pitching up in the ship. He's shouting at the guys, you over there, what is the name of this land? No, I said, who are you? Oh, this is horrible. We have to teach them English. ABC. ABC. ABC.
That's a lot better.
When speaking to somebody in an accent, the number one rule to understand is an accent is not a measurement of intelligence, right? An accent is just somebody speaking your language with the rules of theirs. That's all an accent is. So don't speak down to them. Don't patronize them. Speak to them the way you would to yourself. Just try and learn their accent. That's all it is. It's just another accent.
It's a fun game, colonization. It really was. It's the most arrogant form of patriotism when you think about it, you know? It must have been cool. Like, I wonder what Britain was like back then. When it was so great that you guys wanted to go make it somewhere else. It's like, you know, oh, this is wonderful. We should do it everywhere. That's really what it was. Colonization all over the world. What's weird to me, though, is like how people act like colonization never happened. I don't like that. Like, it's weird when people say, "Whoa, all these bloody foreigners coming into the UK, all these bloody foreigners." Well, it's because you told them about the UK.
You don't understand, in the world, we did not care for this place at all.
No one knew about Great Britain. In India, they were having a good time. The British went and told the Indians about Great Britain. They were having fun with elephants and spices. They had no need to come to this country. But the British got there and they were like... You know, like South Africa and the US are very different because in terms of oppression, you have to acknowledge in South Africa, black people are the majority. I never claim that they're the same. I never even claim to know the answers to these things. But what I don't understand is why we don't understand that these things take time. And one thing I've learned constantly from reading, you know, whether it's reading Martin Luther King's books or Malcolm X or Baldwin or Nelson Mandela or Steve Biko, whoever it is, one thing you learn consistently is racism does not stand up well to contact. And that is one thing that I've noticed continuously, anecdotally in my life and through the stories of people I've read. When people are in contact with someone of another race, you find, and consistently, I don't mean just meeting you in the street, I mean like in your life, you find that racism doesn't hold up. That's what I truly enjoy. The British did it perfect. Yeah, because now we're friends. We all speak the same languages. We even have games where we participate together. The Commonwealth Games. Ironically named. There was nothing common about it. The wealth was in one place. Right, let's forget everything that happened and let's play some games together. Do you guys have horses where you're from? No, we don't. Yeah, we're gonna dance horses. Let's do dancing horses. Jamaica, are you gonna be joining in? No, we're never gonna join in. Your people don't wanna admit what you did to us. We're not gonna play your games. Give us back our sugar, give us back our people, give us back our gold. Well, we can't do that, that's ridiculous. But come and run with us. Will you give us back the gold? No, we won't. But we'll let you win it back, one medal at a time. We need people at the top to be the most accountable because they are the ones who are basically setting the tone and the tenor for everything that we do in society. It's the same way we tell parents to set an example for their kids. The same way we tell captains or coaches to set an example for their players. The same way we tell teachers to set an example for their students. The reason we do that is because we understand in society that if you lead by example, there is a good chance that people will follow that example that you have set. And so if the example law enforcement is setting is that they do not adhere to the laws, then why should the citizens of that society adhere to the laws when in fact the law enforcers themselves don't? Steve Biko.
those gentlemen in the dark, believe that South Africa is a plural society with contributions to be made by all segments of the community.
We are going to change South Africa.
I just think that a white liberal who clings to all the advantages of his white wealth, jobs, housing, education, Mercedes, is perhaps not the person best qualified to tell blacks how they should react to apartheid. You see, we know how you live. We cut your lawns, cook your food, clean your rubbish. How would you like to see how we live? The 90% of your fellow countrymen who have to get off your white streets at 6 o'clock at night. People must not just give in to the hardships of life. They must find a way, even in this environment, to develop hope. Hope for themselves, hope for this country. Now I think that is what black consciousness is all about. Now, without any reference to the white man, to try and build up a sense of our own humanity, our legitimate place in the West.
But if you do run fast enough, if you do survive, you grow up in these streets, these houses. Your parents try, but in the end, you only get the education the white man will give you. Then you go to the city to work, shop. You see their streets, their cars, their houses, and you begin to feel there is something not quite right about yourself, about your humanity. Something to do with your blackness. Because no matter how dumb or smart a white child is, he's born into that way. But you, black child, smart or dumb, you're born into this. And smart or dumb, you'll die in it.
You don't want to be forced into your society. I'm going to be me as I am, and you can beat me or jail me or even kill me. But I am not going to be what you want.
What we've got to decide is the best way to do that. And as angry as we have the right to be, let us remember that we are in this struggle to kill the idea that one kind of man is superior to another kind of man. And killing that idea not dependent on the white man. We must stop looking to him to give us something. We have to fill the black community with our own pride. We have to teach our children black history. Tell them about our black heroes, our black culture, so they don't face the white man believing they are inferior. Then we'll stand up to him any way he chooses. Conflict if he likes, but with an open hand too. To say that we can all build a South Africa worth living in. A South Africa for equals, black or white. A South Africa as beautiful as this land is, as beautiful as we are.